Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome back to another episode of Wake Up with YPN. Today, we are excited to be learning about all kinds of green initiatives and how accessible those are. And with us today, we have Daniel Bissell, the Climate Action Analyst at City of Iowa City. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us today. But before we dive in to both short and long-term initiatives when it comes to going green, hello, my name is Kayla Fisher, your chair of the ICAR YPN, and I'm excited to let everyone and our viewers know that if you comment a question below during our live broadcast, we are going to be giving away 8 tickets to the Iowa Heartlanders hockey game. So get in the comment section and ask a question while we have Daniel, our guest, with us today. We are excited to talk about going green. I know it's a little bit after St. Patty's Day, but we're still in the spirit. So Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Will you tell us a little bit about yourself and your job history and where you landed right now?
Sure, absolutely. Well, before I was with the Climate Action Office, I come from a background of transportation. I've got a 20-year career in public transportation between CAMBUS, the KCATA in Kansas City, and Iowa City Transportation Services. While I was with Iowa City Transportation Services, I really led that initiative to get electric vehicle charging stations in all of our downtown parking ramps. And that really led me down the rabbit hole to all the ways we can fight climate change and reduce our energy usage and save money while doing it. So that led me into the Climate Action Office, where I've been for the last 2 years.
That's great. Thank you so much for all of that. I know that I've heard a lot about those electric changes coming to the city, so thank you for that. And I think we're going to hear about lots of initiatives that you have, but would you like to start with your IRA checklist?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that. I'll go ahead and share my screen here and pull that up so our viewers can see it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely. So the Iowa City Climate Action Office put this together to help Iowa City residents to save money on upgrades to their home, which will help them save money on utility bills for years to come. We lead this off with an energy audit, which is actually a free service that we can provide from Green Iowa AmeriCorps. In the past, this has only been available to residents of Iowa City, but this year we've actually been able to partner with Johnson County. So now any resident of Johnson County, regardless of what community they live in, can take advantage of a free home energy audit. This is a $400 value. You can see the phone number there on the screen. It's 319-339-5399 to get that scheduled. As part of the energy audit, they do a blower door test, and they actually can seal up some air leaks that they find. They bring spray foam and foam tape and weather stripping with them, so they can seal up some of those air leaks right then and there. They also do some safety checks, like looking for gas leaks and carbon monoxide leaks. So it is a great value that they can get absolutely free.
Yeah, that is a really good thing to know, and knowing that it expands to even outside Iowa City now is a really great bonus. So can you talk about kind of the things that you suggest in the next 2 to 3 years on things that people can do to get incentives for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Piggybacking off of the energy audit, those auditors can look at the insulation, especially in the attic. And one of the most effective ways to use less energy and reduce your carbon footprint is to improve the insulation of the home. Right now, there is a tax credit available up to $1,200 to improve air sealing and insulation in the home. There are also rebates. They're not quite available yet. Those HERA and Homes rebates will be administered by the Iowa Energy Office, and they're working to develop the rollout of those rebates now.
Okay, that's great. And then I see some upgrade when it breaks, which we never want to have things break in our home, but when we do, sometimes we have the option to upgrade them to something a little more efficient. So do you have any insight on those options as well?
Absolutely. So we really are trying to promote heat pumps, both for space conditioning and water heating. Heat pumps are super efficient. I know that when you're looking at furnaces, they go from 80% efficient up to about 95, 96% efficiency. Heat pumps actually can be up to 350% efficient, or if we're looking at water heaters, up to 400% efficient. That sounds like they're breaking the laws of physics, but they're really not. They don't create heat, they move heat. So this is a huge upgrade in how you can heat your water, heat your space. And it is unfortunate that they're called heat pumps because they provide cooling as well. A heat pump will replace your air conditioner when it's getting old and starting to not cool as well. So you can actually use your heat pump to heat, cool your home, and keep that gas furnace as a backup if you really want to. But we definitely recommend that people look at insulation first, because having a properly insulated and air-sealed home will help you properly size your heat pump, so you're not paying more than you need or buying more equipment than you need. If when you're making one of these upgrades, you talk to your electrician and discover that you need an electrical panel upgrade to actually make these upgrades, then there's also monies to make that upgrade at the same time as you replace that water heater or air conditioner with a heat pump. That's up to a $4,000 rebate or a $600 tax credit when it's combined with an HVAC system or heat pump water heater. And there are also those tax credits for electric vehicles, $7,500 for a new electric vehicle, $4,000 for a used EV, which is new for this year under the Inflation Reduction Act. So you can now get a used EV that makes electric vehicles much more accessible to a wider segment of the population. For the used credit, though, that does need to be purchased from a dealership. Private party sales actually are not eligible for that credit.
Those are really helpful tips to know. And although we don't want anything to break, if it does, it might be good to make a little more investment and get some kickbacks with those tax credits or rebates. So that's a really helpful sheet to see. I've never seen it broke down so simply. And then I know you mentioned insulation, but it seems like there is some good things to look into inside the 10 years with windows and doors as well.
Yeah, continuing down the list, you can replace older windows or exterior doors. There's a $600 tax credit for windows, $500 for doors, and again, $1,600 under the homes or HERA rebates. Like I mentioned before, the tax credits are available now. The rebates we're expecting to come down the pike later this year.
Okay, that's helpful to know. And speaking of later, I see that there's a date here of December 2031. I know that feels like forever away, but it'll be here before we know that. Can you talk a little bit about that expiration date?
Yeah, so the Inflation Reduction Act runs through 2031, and we really want to encourage folks who are thinking about solar to get that done before that date, to take advantage of the 30% uncapped tax credit for rooftop solar. I have solar on my roof personally, and I love it. Like last year, between April and November, I didn't pay an electric bill. So it's a great way where people can save money on installation and then just continue to accrue those benefits years down the road. There's also a 30% uncapped tax credit for battery storage. In the past, if folks have looked into solar and battery storage, they may have noticed that they have to do those things at the same time. Now, if you've done solar in the past and didn't put that battery backup on, you can now get a 30% tax credit for the battery storage by itself. That'll protect you from extreme weather events like the derecho we saw a couple years ago, or if you get a power line down due to ice, that backup will pick up the slack, and you'll be able to take advantage of your solar panels when the grid is down until that can get fixed. That's
helpful to know, and helpful to know the difference between just having solar and with the battery backup. I know some people think it's included with any solar system, and it is additional, but maybe worth the benefits, especially with those incentives. So that is a great kind of breakdown of some suggestions and ideas that you can work towards benefits. And it seems like the city of Iowa City also has the home energy rating system incentive breakdown as well. That was really helpful. I'll switch over to that one real fast. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is a relatively new program that we have. We are offering an $1,800 award to builders for new residential construction that gets a HERS rating of 52 or better. And just for a little background, a HERS score goes from 1 to 100. Like golf, the lower the score, the better. The typical score in Iowa City is right about 55, so 52 is well within reach. And a home with a score of 52 is 20% more efficient or more high performing than minimum building standards. And I know that there are a lot of realtors here on this meeting. The HERS score is a valuable tool for realtors, just as a quick reference to identify high performing homes and be able to market those to their clients.
And how would someone go about getting an energy rating score?
So there are 3 energy raters that we are aware of working in Iowa City. If you are looking for an energy rater, you can feel free to let our office know, and we can let you know, give you the contact information of who we are aware of working in our area.
Perfect. And would that be something different from the energy audit before, right?
Yes, definitely. Her score is a much more in-depth rating than the energy audit.
Okay, that's helpful. Some differences to know. And I think that is some really good information about, some ways to go green and save energy and be more efficient. And we will definitely put both of these graphics in the comments after, or you're welcome to reach out to ICAR and they can send those to you if you want to builders that you may know of for these incentives. And Daniel, I think you've covered a lot of great things. I don't see that we have any comments or questions quite yet, which means that you did a great job of explaining everything. I just want to point out to anyone who's interested in this topic, we do have some upcoming classes at ICAR on April 3rd and 4th, both solar for real estate agents and high performing homes. So these would be great extra classes to get some CE and learn more about these incentives. Daniel, do you have anything to add before we sign off for the day?
Yeah, definitely. If anybody wants copies of these, we would be happy to provide them. Just reach out to Climate Action at iowa-city.org. And one thing I failed to mention about the homes and the HERA rebates is that those are income qualified. So you can get 100% of that rebate if you're below 80% of the area median income. And there's also a way to qualify for 50% if you're between 80% and 150% of the area median income. And there's an easy way to figure out where you fit in that. Just go to rewiringamerica.org. Up in the top right, there's an IRA calculator that you can put in your income and your zip code, and it'll let you know where you fit under the rebates, whether you can qualify for 50% or 100% of those rebates.
That's really helpful. And I think we do have an incoming question here that will tie right in line with that. I know that you mentioned that the first set of things we talked about were available for outside of Johnson County. Is the HERS incentive available for neighboring towns as well?
Unfortunately, the HERS incentive is not.
Okay, that's helpful to know. But the first one would be, and the second one is not. So that's helpful. Perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much for hopping on this morning and taking 15 minutes to educate us on this great topic. If anyone has any questions, reach out to the Climate Action group with the City of Iowa City, and we hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.